Okay, yes, I did braids in my hair because I thought you guys deserved a different look for the second video, which I am filming back to back. Hi guys, my name is Ezza and welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I'll be talking about the worst books I read in 2020. Let's get started. The first book, at least the most recent book that I read that I gave a really low rating on Goodreads, which is 1 star out of 5, is of course Mental by Shaz Johar. I actually have a rant review up on my YouTube, so I'll put the links down below. And basically my summary of this book is that I didn't like it. I couldn't brain the story. I didn't understand why the characters did what they did. And then the ending is like, what? So yes, if you want to know more, just check out my rant review. It's all there. Just see how I just lose my mind basically over this book. And the second book that I gave a low rating, I gave this book a 2 out of 5, is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. Also, if I'm looking down, it's because I have my notebook on my lap. So yes, like I was saying, I gave this book a 2 out of 5, and it's Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. And the reason why I give this book a 2 out of 5 is because the main character was very boring. She was very passive. She knew she liked the prince, but she was like, oh, I'm useless, I'm nobody, I'm just some peasant somewhere. And I'm like, girl, what do you want exactly? You're a witch, but you kind of don't want to be a witch. Now, what is going on? It's just a very boring book, which is such a shame because the cover of the book was actually very, very beautiful. And that's why I chose to read the book, because I really liked the cover. And then when I read it, I'm just kind of like, what? Because you're thinking like Ursula, right? Ursula, you're thinking Ursula, you're thinking Sea Witch, you're thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a bad bitch. She knows what she wants, she's gonna get what she wants, you know? And when you read it, you're just like, okay, this is a very boring character. And honestly, it's so boring, I can't even remember anything. And don't read it. It's not good. Don't read it. I do not suggest to read it. There were some points that were good, but honestly, it's so boring, and I hated the characters that I can't even be bothered to remember what it is that I liked and why I gave it a 2 out of 5 instead of a 1 out of 5. So, and next book is Kacau by Arif Adli. Okay, I also have a rant review on this book, so I'll link it down below. I'll give you a summary of my rant review. The summary is, there were so many plot holes in this book. Again, I just could not brain. And that's my summary. Thank you. Next book is My Friend Anna, The True Story of a Fake Heiress by Rachel De La Roche Williams. I think, no, it's not De La Roche. It's Deloche? Yes. I am so sorry I butchered your name. Okay, I gave this book a 3 out of 5 on my Goodreads, but in retrospect, I still maintain the 3 out of 5, but in retrospect, it is not a good book because I feel like this woman is so entitled. She sounds so privileged, you know? She's like saying, oh, I'm friends with this scammer, and then like she scammed me of money, and I'm like, okay. But you're kind of friends with her because you thought she was rich and because she gave you a lot of monetary perks. So you weren't exactly friends with her because you wanted to be friends with her, you know? So are you really in the place to say that it's all her fault, that she scammed me, that she's selfish and whatever? Because I think I was listening to this book. It was an audiobook. When I was listening to it, I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying she got what she deserved. I'm just saying that, you know, you're friends with these types of crowds, right? All these socialites. And you know you don't have that much of a pay, or you don't have that much money to compete with them. So, I don't know, man. I don't recommend you to read this book. It's very boring. It's very dull. It just talks about her all the time. I get it's a memoir, but like, girl, nobody gives a fuck. So yes, next book and last book that I gave a low rating. Actually, it's not that low. I gave this a 3 out of 5, but this book was so painful for me to read. It's Gelap by Arif Adli. Yes, it's another Arif Adli and buku fiksi book, so yeah, you can see there's a trend here. The reason I gave this a 3 out of 5 is because at first I really liked it. But then as I read on, I started to realize there's a lot of plot holes in this book. And it's very, it copies a lot from Saw the movie, that I'm like, oh. And the thing is, I don't mind you copying Saw and how they kill people and stuff, but at least explain it to me how you did it. You know, you can't just like give me a 1-page thing saying that, oh, she did this in terms of this, and that's how she got everything in turn. Because it doesn't make sense. So you're telling me she did all these traps in the middle of this goddamn forest, right? Because they're in a bungalow in this forest at her boyfriend's place. And you're telling me she did all of these traps all alone. Her boyfriend never noticed? You know? Okay, you can argue to me that, oh, she went there alone. But like, I feel like the author should have told me that she went there alone. I don't need to like figure it out with my sixth sense or something. This is not George Martin books where you have to, you know, use a higher level of intellect to figure out what the hell is going on between these characters and their backstories, you know? The side characters and shit. So it's like, yeah. Let's go to the rant. As you can see from the list of my 5 books, 3 of them are buku fiksi. So I'm going to put a disclaimer that I might be reading the buku fiksi wrong, because I just recently watched a video from Husna Reads where her tips for reading buku fiksi is that she said that 2018 and earlier there's a lot of mature content, and 2000, like mid or late 2018 to the present, there's a lot of cleaner content. So I might have been reading buku fiksi wrong, but I will go to why I have a problem with it. My problem is there's too much incessant sex or unnecessary sex scenes. I call them unnecessary because it's all the same palette. It's all the same taste. It's all the same vibration, you know? It's all crude, it's all crass, it's all like, oh yeah, we fucked tonight. And I'm like, yeah, I get it that you fucked, but like, give me sensuous, give me sensual, give me sexy, you know? Give me romance, give me BDSM. Like, you can't just give me all crude and crass and just expect me to just like it. This also goes for Gantong by Nadia Han, and mind you, I really like her writing. So if I even see in Gantong that it has the same problem, there's a problem. And like, one of the things that I realized with reading a lot of fiksi books, there's a lot of sex, right? Like I said, there's a lot of sex. And the thing is, I don't mind a few key sex scenes, you know? Like, it's really important for the plot. It has to be there. It progresses the plot. It has points for character development, character growth. Fine, put it in. I don't mind. I don't care. But if you put it so unnecessarily, it just makes it feel like these books are trying to be edgy, are trying to be like not the typical Malay books. They're trying to be edgy, they're trying to be cool, but by trying too hard to be edgy, to be too cool, you become a wannabe, and that's, I'm sorry to say, that's a bit lame. So yeah, there's too much sex involved, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I don't mind. Again, I'm going to repeat myself, I don't mind you putting sex in, because I read a lot of erotica, I read a lot of historical romance. Historical romance is basically softcore porn by this rate, and erotica I don't even need to explain. But like, give me different shades of these sexual elements to it, right? So it doesn't seem like the only thing that these authors know how to write sexually is crude and crass sex content. Why can't you have a sex scene where the author, not the authors, I'm so sorry, but the characters like learn something about themselves? Maybe learn that sex isn't all that, or learn that sex isn't how it is in the movies. It's awkward, it's goofy, and it's just, you know, it's, or just like write how these characters have sex and learn that it's supposed to be between two consenting adults, you know, or like two consenting people. Like, give me something different. Give me different brush strokes. Another thing that I found with buku fiksi books is that sometimes there's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of it. And the only thing that I can think of is Kacau by Arif Adli. And I think there's also Gelap by Arif Adli. And Mental. Actually, you know, all three of these books have this same problem of these plot holes. Okay, but the most that I can remember is Kacau by Arif Adli, because this book just burns. It's lasered and tattooed to my brain. It just, when I think about it, I still get angry. I'm so angry with the book. Okay. I'll tell you what the plot hole is. There's this part in the book, right? Oh my god, I'm going on a rant review again. There's a plot in the book where I can't remember which character, but he keeps getting like haunted by these ghosts, right? These kid ghosts. And then he goes and follows these ghosts. And then he goes to this shopping mall where they did this ghost hunting thing. And behind there's a lake. He goes into the lake, he finds some bones, and then he reports it to the police. But the thing is, this pisses me off throughout the whole book. This pisses me off so much. You're telling me that this man found a bag of bones in an abandoned lake and at an abandoned place, right? And the cops didn't ask for further questions. He just let them go. What? And then there's another scene in the hospital. You're telling me that this young man died of heart attack, where his friends tells this doctor that there was like hair coming out of his goddamn mouth. You're telling me the doctor is not going to do a post-mortem? You are telling me that this young man died of a heart attack at the age of like maybe mid-20s. He's not gonna give post-mortem? What? But basically, my main problems with buku fiksi books for now, that it might increase, it might decrease, but for now, it's basically these two things. Too much sex, plot holes. Like, my tagline for buku fiksi is, I just want it to make sense. Make it make sense to me, okay? Make the plot, the book, the characters make sense to me. That's all I'm asking for. Make it make sense. And the reason why I'm so angry, I'm so disappointed with buku fiksi is because I want them to be good. I want to support them. Because they're local authors, they're local publishers. I want to support them. I want them to go international. But when I read these types of books, it pisses me off. Because I'm like, it's so basic. Okay, maybe I'm not working in publishing or whatever. That's my bad. But like, if I as a reader can see all these plot holes that don't make sense, what's going on, you know? Like, what's going on? So, yeah, my boyfriend says that my relationship with buku fiksi is like of a toxic relationship between a girlfriend and a boyfriend, where the boyfriend keeps like fucking up and like cheats or whatever, and then the girlfriend's like, no, this time I've had it, I'm going to leave, I'm leaving, I'm done with your shit. And then the boyfriend's like, no, babe, I'll stop cheating on you. I'm sorry. She was just a hoe. She didn't mean anything. And the girlfriend's kind of like, oh my God, he really means it this time. See, he says that my relationship with buku fiksi is like that, you know? Like, the boyfriend fucks up, and then the girlfriend's like, no, this time I'm serious. I'm leaving. But then she gets real back in, because I feel like I'm that way. I'm that way with buku fiksi, and I'm losing my mind because I'm actually reading another buku fiksi. This one is by Dayang Noor, and it's called Rant. I'm hoping it's good because it doesn't have those, you know, little taglines that says it's for mature content. And I know I'm a bit sexist. I'm being a bit sexist. But I'm hoping because it's a female writer that the sexual content will be either negligible or like be better. I've said it. I've said my mind. So yes. What else do I need to talk about with my rant? Yeah, I don't know. Will I ever give up buku fiksi? I don't think so. I quite like the edginess of it because it's different, but at the same time it is quite disheartening to see that by trying to be edgy, by trying to be different, that it just became the same, you know? It's a conundrum, I know. And I'm sorry this video went absolutely batshit crazy. I'm really sorry for the cursing. I'll put a disclaimer. Bye guys. Hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe.